Charcuterie Boards.
Good morning, my brothers and sisters, on this episode number 213, when the Good Morning Guys podcast rises. Okay, I'm not really going to do the intro like that,
I bet people are like trying to fiddle with their audio. Like,
what's going on? It's not working right.
Do
blow
I
the
have it
speaker
as
system? What
of -5 speed? What is going on here?
Is this still a thing to turn your, twist your 3.5 millimeter jack around to make sure the sound's working?
Yeah.
I would break my headphones on my iPhone if I did that. All right. Can I just jump right into the new thing, or do you have to recenter it?
I suppose.
Just giving free outtakes like it's
go.
candy. Halloween. Just pretend it's Halloween, and the joiner said, "Trick or outtakes."
There you go.
And I chose outtakes.
Continue.
Wait, with the actual intro? Go
I
ahead.
mean, that's what I think. Okay, now we just need to start it over again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Right now, break. Good morning, my brothers and sisters, on this garbly episode 213 of the Good Morning Guys podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this, a fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I am one of your hosts, the forgotten mountaineer and transition survivor of walking pneumonia, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, the jury, and executioner of Renaissance fairs and murderous pairs, Patrick Novosel.
It's good to be here tonight. It sounds like you need maybe a glass of water.
I think I do. It's my sinus infection that I also had, just totally garbling up my throat.
Spoilers.
Whoop. To his left and my right, and the final member of the GMG quadfecta here tonight, the guy with fall season in his heart, sweater weather on his brain, and candy corn in his old stomacho, Marc Boucher.
Sweater weather.
Oh,
Sweater weather.
Sweater weather.
I almost said sweather weather, and I was like, that's not right.
That's new.
That is a new one. Old sweather weather.
Also, I think every episode from now on until after Halloween, I'm just gonna come with a bag of candy corn. And just
That's fine. Just be prepared for Patrick and I to dry heave, as I did in the introduction.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I like how you slam down the can, right? You're welcome. Bong. All right, guys, let's get into it, shall we? And as is tradition, whoever skips a week gets to lead the way. We're going to talk about life. Oh, hey, you, new joiner. Welcome. This morning we are sharing what's new with us in case you have no idea what's going on. For those of you who have been here before, well, you've already jumped on the back of the garbage truck on fire, and we're so glad you're here with us.
We're so glad you're on fire right now.
Yeah, we're so glad.
We're all on fire.
You just got your shirt's on fire, your pants on fire. You know,
We're on fire. Come join us.
yeah, come on over. Come on
Nice
over.
and toasty in here.
Get third-degree burns with us. It's great. After this, we talk about some life, and then later on in the week, or you can just go right to it if you're, late to the party, pal. We're going to be talking about episodes 5, 6, and 7 of She-Hulk. And then from there, who knows? We'll just see where the wind blows us. There may be another episode of something or other pop up. Maybe nothing will come your way. So don't wait by the phone. We know you're eager to
If
answer
Apple
the call.
decides to not post our shows, there may be nothing.
You know what? They're almost dead to us. If I didn't like their product so much, I would have already taken it out back and buried my phone. That's not true. I'm never going to do that. I love you, phone. I just kissed it. Just to remind it I was just kidding. All right. Let's get into life. What's new news? I just came off a week-long mission trip this past week. Mm-hmm. And I've had a good old solid, I think it's 5 or 6 days to recover from pneumonia and a sinus infection.
Fantastic.
Fan-frickin-tastic. What a great time.
Everyone
honestly.
wants that.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to get walking pneumonia and a sinus infection
I mean,
2 or 3 days before the mission trip's over,
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have that, might as well just jump on the garbage truck on fire and just enjoy.
Exactly. Like just blowing your nose. I mean, if you use the snot to put out the fire, I mean, I think that's contributing to the team.
That's disgusting.
That's exactly what Marc wanted to hear too. He was so excited when I used the word snot.
I'm glad somebody else besides me recognized that it's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, I have a line. It's a very thin line that's way far in the distance, but I can see it. I can see it. I can see Marc over there on the other side of the line, like, "Hey,
you have a line?
Stop it!"
But Patrick, I know,
it's a dot.
I know what you're doing.
There's like several erase marks.
Patrick, you were totally just speaking for Marc because you knew that him shaking his head does not translate for podcasting. So you're like, I'm going to say it because he's not going to.
I like to, I have someone's back,
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have my snotty back?
That's even worse.
Oh, my head just slipped right off there.
What are we doing?
Moving on. I don't know.
That needed to be said.
Yeah. So we're getting the bad news out of the way. I have recovered almost. I would say I'm at like 90%. So I just have a little bit to go. I got to take my meds. My pharmacist told me if you do not take it all 10 days that it's prescribed, you will die. So I was told by him,
That's intense.
the pastor I was visiting. Okay, they didn't say those words exactly, but they
Priest
really
comes in, says a prayer.
Yep. He's like, drink this twice a day with holy water. So I've been doing that.
Don't look at the full moon.
Drinking it up. That's right. Stay away from all those things. But yeah, the first night I think I was in the mission trip. I went to bed that night, and we got hit by a little cold snap, and from there my sinuses just started draining. I started getting a sore throat. I felt like I was just kind of going through all the symptoms. Now 2 years ago, I'd have been like, I might have just gotten COVID somehow. But now I was like, no, this doesn't feel like COVID. And I just prayed. I said, God, sustain me until this is over, and then I'll go to the doctor. And he did. Like every day I would wake up and just totally congested. I would take a shower, eat breakfast, and then I would have energy just throughout the day. And then as I got to the evening, it would start to dwindle down. And, I'd stay up way too late, talking with people, translating, and cake and all those things with my Brazilian buddies. And then by Wednesday, the last day, I got up, had breakfast, took a shower, and I was ready to go back to bed. And the pastor's like, I think we need to take you to the doctor. And I'm like, all right, if you insist, let's go to the doctor.
Twist my arm, why don't you?
Yeah. And I mean, at that point, I really felt like I needed to go to the hospital. Like I was feeling bad. Like I was feeling like someone beat me up and shoved everything up my nasal passage. And then my chest was vibrating when I would breathe sometimes, and I would cough. It wasn't like a deep cough, so I know I hadn't progressed real far, but I could tell I was in the next stage of getting worse. So they took me, and of course the doctor's like, we got to test you for COVID. And I'm like, no, it's not COVID, dang it. I know it's not COVID. Leave me alone. Don't shove anything up my nose. 5 seconds later, he shoved that stupid swab up my nose, and I'm crying, and I want to sneeze. Oh, it's awful. And then after that, guess what? Negative for COVID. And I felt like Patrick when they tried to tell him he had COVID before he tried to come to Brazil. And it's like, I know I don't have COVID, okay? So anyways, I moved on from that. They gave me prescriptions. I've been taking them and getting better. So all's well. On the positive side, the mission trip was quite the success. It was great. It was a great time. I was really reminded that the Brazilians' 2 love languages are hugs and food. And I got so much of it, like a plethora of hugs.
Nice.
And just so much food. By the end, I was like, you guys got to stop. I feel like you're stuffing us for a pig roast or something. Like it's just, it's incessant. Like it was just getting to the point. We had just left from a churrascaria, a Brazilian barbecue, and we went to drop off a pastor who had been giving us a tour of the city. And they had bread and cake and these deli, almost like a, what is it called, that Italian bread with meat inside, like a roll, like a calzone or it wasn't a hoagie because it wasn't open. It was like a calzone filled with meat and cheese. And they were like, eat, we got bread, we got cake, we got coffee, we got juice, enjoy. And we're just like, we just came from a Brazilian barbecue. And they're like, we don't care, eat the food. So it was just like, all right. Oh, it was so bad. And then we get home, and the pastor we're staying with, he starts cooking up more food. And so what we did is the other pastor that was from the U.S. that came to visit with about 5 other Americans, we had grabbed I don't know, have you guys, well, Patrick, I know you've been, but Mark, have you been to a Brazilian barbecue in the U.S.?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
Can't say I have.
To give you the rundown real quick, it's like a buffet where they bring it all to you, and you have a little piece of paper or just like a little piece of paper, and it's usually green means give me food. You flip it over, red means stop giving me food. So the pastor and I grabbed those, anticipating what the pastor was going to do. And when we got home and we were really full, and he's like, I'm going to make you some food, we put those things down with the red facing up, and he and his wife just lost it, like just laughing. They did not see it coming. We're like, gotcha, suckers. You're not stuffing us. And then an hour later, they gave us hamburgers. So, we didn't win the battle. We tried. We tried to resist.
I feel like you had to adjust your belt loop like 2 notches after.
Dude, I weighed myself when I got home. I had gained 6 pounds.
Wow.
That's
while
a pound a
being
day
sick?
While being sick. Yeah.
That's impossible.
Impossible is another kind of possible, my friend.
And he's like, challenge accepted.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, that's just how it happens. Another funny thing that happened while we were there, we were touring. You remember the church we went to where I watched you guys on the security feeds, and you and James and Tasha were like dancing in front of the camera, like big doofuses. Do you remember that? Is the big church where we walked inside, that guy gave us a tour.
Oh yeah.
And was telling us the history and stuff. Well, we went there and we ran into the lead pastor, and he was talking to me, and the pastor from the Maryland church who came to visit, the same one that had gotten the little decal to say, don't feed us anymore. He was behind the pastor. And so I said, hey, do you want to meet our American friend, Pastor Greg? And he turned around and he was like, oh, Lord Jesus, because Greg is like 6'5" or so. And this pastor from Brazil is like 6'2", so like a little taller than me. And then he was looking up to Greg. And so after he said, dear Lord Jesus, he also said, am I before Goliath? Do I need to go find 5 smooth stones to fight for God against this man? It was really funny, like just totally caught him off guard. And especially because Greg didn't know that he spoke English. So when he just all of a sudden said, dear Lord Jesus in English, it always made the Americans laugh, because they just never knew when a Brazilian was going to speak English or speak Portuguese. So that was pretty funny. The last thing that was funny that happened was when we were in a town called, I think, Black Mountain Range, Serra Negra. We saw on the map that there was this place called Disneylandia dos Robôs, which is translated to Robot Disneyland. And we were like, well, we got to visit this place and see what it's all about.
I feel like they made some video games about that.
This place was crazy. Like, I can't even begin to explain what happened. But we got there. We pulled up front. They had a strep? No, that's like thinking of diseases, strep throat or something. They had a stretch limousine that was like totally covered in chrome.
Whoa.
And then they had Herbie the Love Bug. This was the only part that was actually really cool. I got my picture with Herbie too. I gave him a big hug, and then I got like, one of those pointing at someone famous pic,
Yeah.
That was cool. It looked exactly like Herbie from the Love Bug. And then this place looked like, the only way I can explain it is when Chandler gets the bracelet from Joey and talks about the Liberace House of Crap. Like, it just looked like someone had taken a bunch of cheap robots and a bunch of animatronic things that got rejected by every other, like Chuck E. Cheese, but except they stripped down and it's just like the insides. There's no fabrics. It's just like, and then there's like all these random statues. I think we saw one dwarf from Disney, from Snow White, and like one other character, and then everything else is like this Switzerland type of weird I don't know, Dutch robots looking building. I'm going to post in the Discord because I don't know how else to explain it.
Please do.
Yeah, it is a bizarre place. And then one of the things we saw there in the upper right-hand side, there was a rocket. And at the foot of the rocket is a cardboard cutout of E.T. just like staring at you. I'm like, all right, cool.
Sounds like someone's like garage.
It really, I think it started that. I think it started that way. It definitely started that way. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, so we were leaving because we found out it was like $20 to get in, and we were like, no, we're good. We just wanted to see Disneyland, robot Disneyland up close. So we were leaving, and someone asked this random couple that just happened to be walking up as we were walking out. They asked the pastor in Portuguese to take their picture, and one of the ladies from our group, from the American side of the group, named Kathy, she was like right in the spot where the couple wanted to get the picture taken, and so another person, Brazilian from the group, kind of waved at her like, "Hey, come over here," and she interpreted it as "get in the picture." And so she put her arms around the Brazilian couple and just smiled at the camera to take the picture. And the couple were just like, what? We get out of our picture. We don't want you in the picture. So from then on, she became famous Kathy. And every single day, the first time I saw her, I would like freak out like the Beatles and be like, is that Kathy? And like get all crazy and take a selfie with her. And it was funny. It became a running joke of the group. Yeah. So it was good times. It definitely was. There were many lull moments, but there were many special moments too, like the church services that we had together in English and Portuguese. The last night that we were there, in between my hacking, the pastor and his wife shared their testimony with the visiting pastor and his wife. It was a really nice trip. It's definitely a mission trip for like a long-term relationship. So it's really exciting to see where it's going to go. But that's what I'd majorly been up to this past week. Once I got back home, I went into recovery mode and pretty much just hung out and recovered and played video games and rested, hung out with the kids because Mindy went on a weekend trip. And so we had some fun together. The only not fun thing that happened over the weekend is I found a dead possum in my front yard that apparently Rayla had killed. So it took me back to actually the last time I had encountered a dead possum, which was in a mission trip when we were cleaning out a church that had been bug bombed, and the possum had been stuck inside and had melted because of the chemicals.
I remember that story.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, it took me back. So I immediately, when I saw the dead possum and I just got a little whiff of the smell, I thought I was going to throw up in the middle of the yard. I was like, whoa, whoa. And the kids were like,
all of our listeners have been throwing up for the past 20 minutes.
That's probably true. Wait, what? Yeah. Past 20 minutes?
I don't know. How long has it been? Feels like it's been 20 minutes.
Almost 20 minutes.
Wait, what else did I say that was gross? Are you talking about my snot back?
Yeah.
That's not that bad, is it?
It's pretty bad.
It's like your love language is hugging it. It's like you hug it like, what is this?
You slipped right out of me there. Slipped right off.
Yeah.
Oh man, I wasn't even going to go that direction, but you guys made it fun, so I had to.
Oh, that's the name of the episode, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. So
snot back?
Snotty back.
Snot back? Ooh, okay. Snot back. That sounds fun. I like that. That was Earl, as we know, real life. Mm-hmm. On the gaming front, the fire continues with the fire rises with Minecraft Dungeons still. So I've been playing that with the kiddos. I restarted a couple games, kinda. I restarted God of War because I just got the itch. I couldn't wait for November. And I've played the first few hours, and man, this game is so good. I honestly haven't played it since 2018. When we did the spoiler cast last year, I definitely did not replay it and just pretended like I did for the sake of content. So I'm returning back to, the land of whatever it's called, Norse mythology and Kratos, and I forgot how small Atreus is. Like, now that I've seen the trailer for the current game that's coming, and now looking back, he like comes up to, I don't even think he's as tall as Kratos' hip, like his waist. He's so little, and he's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm Atreus. I'm a snotbag."
No, he's puberty.
Yeah, now he's like, hey, Dad, you want to go hunt some deer?
Sounds like Millhouse from Simpsons.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to his voice changing in the middle of the game and taking us through that. And then I also restarted Ghost of Tsushima Legends with that old Chris the Canadian Rock. And let me tell you, Patrick, those hearts are still floating, and it's still weird. But I'm loving the combat. Like, we're having fun, running around, slicing up spirit fools. At one point, someone in the chat was like, are you paying attention to the story? And I'm like, I'm trying, but it doesn't make any sense. So I'm just having fun. But speaking of story, it reminded me that I haven't played the Icky Island story. So I'm going to check that out probably.
Ooh. Is that a free DLC or is that paid?
I think it comes with extra. But now that you say it out loud, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
So I might have to get the Swisher Sweets discount, the Swisher Plus. I'm going to have to explore my options. Mm-hmm. So I'll get back to you on that this time next week. But besides that, I just want to wish a happy belated birthday to that old Hades, which turned 2 years old just a couple weeks ago. And to celebrate its birthday belated and late, since I got to the game late anyways, I booted it up and played a few rounds. It was fun. But even more fun is I checked out that no-clip documentary called Hades Developing Hell.
I have not watched that yet. Did you watch all the clips?
I'm on the last 2 episodes. I've watched four of the episodes. They're all usually around 40 minutes, but I do it at 1.5 speed, so it's like 25 minutes or 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Get a little quickness going. But it is so good. And even if you don't really, like, even if you're not that deep into the game, like, I think, and I think we've all watched the Raising Kratos, getting a glimpse into developers, I don't know, like the path to making a game is so fascinating. Like, it's so interesting. Like, it all starts with the Game Awards, which I think was one of the first ones we watched together, where they revealed Hades. I can't remember which is one of the first we did for the show. You remember? I feel like it was, because it was 2018.
Yeah.
But anyways, it showed, like, that's where it started when they revealed the early access through Epic Games, and then it follows their path of, like, doing the early access, getting feedback. But, like, seeing old Hades, Patrick, is so bizarre. Like, seeing some of the old designs, hearing some of the original music, and then how when we finally got into it, it was already a year old when it came to PlayStation. Yeah. So, like, getting to see that old stuff is kind of cool, but then also at the same time, like, man, I'm glad you updated that, because that looks weird. Like, some of the characters look really stupid. Yeah. And so you're like, yep, that was a good call. It's a good job listening to the feedback and, adjusting and being flexible. But it's really cool. It's really cool. And Mark, I think there's at least one episode that you would be very fascinated by, where a lot of it is focused on the musician who did the music for the game. And he does, like, all the music. Like, he does the guitar, the bass, the drums, and then he just layers it. And a good portion of one of the episodes was him, like, starting with just a basic drum sound and then doing the guitar, like God of the Dead Patrick from the boss fight against Hades. And then while he loops back, plays that, and then he goes to the drums, and it's just him playing the drums and, like, testing out different ways to really cool. Play the drums. And then he's like, sweat's pouring down him, and he's like, this is the best workout you can get. It's playing the drums.
Absolutely.
It's like if I had rhythm, I would totally agree, but I don't have rhythm at all. So I would just be an idiot. Maybe if I put on, like, soundproof headphones and I couldn't hear myself, and I just pretend like I'm the drummer and whatever I'm listening to, that would work. But man, it's really good. I'm looking forward to watching the other 2 episodes. But I highly recommend it, even though I haven't finished it. And if you love Hades, you definitely owe it to yourself to watch. It's free on YouTube. They just came out with a Blu-ray version of the documentary. If you want to, vote with your wallet or whatever, support them financially. But free on YouTube. Check it out. It's very good. So I think that's it. Those are my 2 weeks in a gross nutshell, covered in mucus. Because my name's Lucas. That was just for you, Patrick.
Gross.
So with that, who wants to follow up on that? I'll let you pick. Paper, rock, scissors, as is tradition. Go.
All right. 1,
paper, scissors,
2, 3, shoot. All right. I win. You go next, Mark.
Patrick's
2 for
good.
2.
You're 2 for 2. You beat Ronnie, and now you beat Marc. So next week I challenge you, you and me. I'm gonna break out the fire.
No, you would.
You won't see it coming.
Is that the fire? I'm
Water
not sure
balloon.
that's the fire.
Water balloon. All right, Marcus, what's new with you, my friend?
Wait a minute. I thought Pat won.
I did win. I get to
he
pick.
picked you to go first. He did it to Ronnie too.
Oh, I missed that part. My bad.
He's a trickster.
I see. So this weekend's was actually pretty busy.
Ooh, it was busy with an A.
Yeah, busy.
Busy. That's busy.
Yep. So we had our worship night for our church on Saturday night. So Saturday was a lot of preparation for that. It was a very unique worship night, I think, at least, because we had food beforehand, and we had, and I think I may have mentioned this on the show before. We had what's called Charcuterie Boards, which it's basically adult Lunchables.
Right. Yeah.
You have my attention.
Yep. With cheese and crackers.
Even though those were highly, highly overrated when we were kids. Looking
they
back,
try to fancy it up like, hey, charcuterie. What is that? Cheese and crackers? Yeah.
I even have a
literally
little.
what it is. Meat.
I have a little plastic knife to spread it,
and you put it on a nice wooden board, and it's fancy.
Yep. That's absolutely what that is. But we had a nice spread of charcuterie board type stuff.
Nice.
So we had food and fellowship first, and then the worship team, we got up and did and led in 6 songs, and then we had a brief 5-minute intermission, and then so that people could get more food if they wanted to, and then we came back and led 6 more songs, which was a great night. I had a lot of fun with it. Things turned out fantastic.
Nice.
And so Saturday was a lot of preparation for that. Also, same day we got our new couch.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
So it is installed. It is ready
to go. You had to take down the fort, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about that.
It's always a shame. Whenever my son has to take down his fort, it's the worst day of his life.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the fort is taking up space in a whole corner of the room. So, yeah, and very much not put together. So
womp womp.
Yep, womp womp indeed. But yeah, the new couch is in, which is not womp womp. And it's very.
What sound does the new couch make if it's not womp womp? Oh, okay, it's very satisfied.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Is it like drinking a drink or something?
It's like after you're done.
It's nice and cozy.
It's got a little sweet tea there, just jingling around, sticking his pinky out.
Yep, absolutely. Yep,
All
fancy cozy. No, it's nice and comfortable, and we're pretty happy with it. We're still going through the process of. So I think I shared that a lot of our furniture is hand-me-down furniture, and so we're in the process of kind of getting rid of that old furniture and getting our own stuff.
Yes.
So that process is still ongoing, but the new living room has taken shape, and it is very nice. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Nice. Very nice.
But that's been pretty much it on the IRL side of things, at least. I think that's about it.
Yep.
Well,
That's
other
enough
than
of Earl.
Saturday night, we stayed at.
Nope, just kidding.
We stayed at an Airbnb. Our church, a family from our church, they let us stay at their Airbnb apartment because I've mentioned on the show that our church is an hour and 15 minutes from our house. So it saved us from having to drive all the way back and then come back the very next morning.
Yeah, it's
church.
Overrated.
Yeah. So
that's a little getaway, huh?
Yeah,
kind of
it was
thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
It wasn't super fancy or anything, but it was nice to not have to make that long trip except going home. But yeah, it was a good time, and it was a great weekend for that, of course.
Now, did they have forts?
Sadly, they did not.
Oh man, did they have couches that went?
No couches that would.
Dang.
Were they womp?
1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 on Yelp. Get on that Yelp there. And get a bad score.
They did have a drum kit in there.
Okay, but I'm
for Lucas.
Yeah. All right, I can rock it out.
Yep. You need exercise.
Nothing puts you to sleep like me playing the drums.
Yep. There you go. Oh, JK. So that was not all the IRL stuff.
All right. Okay. There's more Earl where that came from.
Oh, wait, there's more. No, so I watched a particular movie over the weekend. Yeah, and it was dropped on. I want to say it was either Thursday or Friday. I want to say it was Friday. So I watched Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. I'm not like a huge fan of the first Hocus Pocus. I enjoyed it. It's super like 90s Disney.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's still an enjoyable thing to watch around this time of year. And so I decided I'm going to watch the second one, see how it was. And it was pretty good. It wasn't it wasn't amazing. I still think the first one is better, in my opinion. But they didn't do a bad job with it. The 3 actresses that played the Sanderson sisters, Kathy Najimy, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Bette Midler, they pretty much looked like their characters. It's it's almost like they never left the role.
It wasn't like the Golden Girls came and took over for Hocus Pocus?
Basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it?
Not really. No.
It's like Blanche was there. I can't remember the other names. I wish I could remember their other names, but
yeah, I don't know any of their names. But no, it was still an enjoyable movie. It's a nice direction that they took it in. Some of the green screen was kind of wonky for a Disney movie, but for the most part, it was it was still an enjoyable movie. I think it's a worthy enough successor to the first
worthy
one.
enough. Put that on the box.
I didn't hate it.
Put it on the box. It's worthy enough.
Worthy enough, Marc Boucher.
Yep. Well, what's your score?
I'm going to give it. I'll give it 7 black flame candles out of 10.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Worthy enough black candles.
Yeah. Black flame candles.
Okay. Black flame candles, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is it for the IRL side of things.
Right.
On the gaming side of things, I've been doing some work for sure.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. So I decided last week, just on a whim, just decided to do it. I was like, you know what?
On a whim. No one had ever suggested the game.
Well, I mean, of course it has been suggested before.
But just going to risk it all and play this game.
No, I mean, it's just the fact that no one told me to go play it now.
As is I'm pretty sure we've told you many times to play it now, and you don't listen to us.
But not like right now.
Well, we gave up on you. That's why.
Now,
do it now. Play it now. Cancel your plans.
Play it now.
Do it. Get into Uncharted. Boot it up.
Yes, so I went ahead and decided to start playing Uncharted 2 and beat the game in a day and a half.
There you
Let's
go.
go.
That's what I'm talking about.
Can't put it down.
Yep.
When's the last time you beat a game in a day and a half? Any of us? I can't think of a substantial game, not like My Name is Mayo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like a real game.
I don't know.
Of that caliber.
But,
like 10 hours, right? It's like a 10-hour game.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Something like that.
20, 24.
That's good stuff right there.
Chapters, maybe. I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I absolutely loved Uncharted 2. It pretty much holds up for. Is that a PS2 or a PS3 game?
3.
PS3.
Okay. Yeah.
And 4 and 5.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. But it was originally released on.
No, I think it's only PS3 and 4. Yeah.
Okay. Sony loves to bring them all to every single platform.
Yeah,
and remake them, remaster them, and then
I can't wait
remaster.
For Horizon Zero Dawn remake.
We're not going to talk about that.
Oh my God, are they just going to do that with all their games? They're like, you know what?
Why not?
That game came out in 2017.
Last of Us 3, even though it's not out yet, we're going to remaster it. It's like, that's what
2017? Is that when it came out?
2017, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's 5 years old. Like, come on now.
A lot's happened since then.
I wonder if they're gonna put the same polish like they did with The Last of Us, where it's just like they make everything look better, change a little bit, but it's the same game. But I don't know if there's that big of a following for wanting to play an open world game like that versus a Last of Us or Uncharted.
I can't. Of a graphic jump.
I want them to remaster / remake Uncharted 1 and 2 and 3.
Yeah. That would be
and
fair.
Golden Abyss.
Yep.
I'd rather them focus their efforts on that
right.
than do something that's a 6-year-old, 5-year-old game.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
Agreed.
It's a weird decision.
They're all about them weird decisions though. So
yep. Like I can get I played The Last of Us PS5 version, and that was fun because it was only 10 hours. Like the Horizon Forbidden West or Horizon Zero Dawn, that's a huge game.
Yep.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take them to have to remaster that one? Are we talking like 2026?
People have to speak with their wallets though. Like it's not going to matter. People making a big hullabaloo. Nobody's speaking with their wallets. So if people really don't like it, I mean, I'm not buying it. Yeah. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn is in my top whatever games. I love the game, but to do a remaster now, it's just like, what?
And they're going to do it, and they're going to say, hey, even though you can get it for free right now on PlayStation Plus, we're going to make you pay $70 for the same game. It just looks prettier, even though that game still looks good.
The $70 thing's not been confirmed. They might not do that.
If they did it with The Last of Us, I can't imagine them not doing that with Horizon. And if the game's not going to be coming out for a couple of years, and the way the economy is going and inflation and things like that, it's going to be $70.
Yep.
We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
So I beat Uncharted 2.
Oh yeah, that's right. Uncharted 2.
And I'm 6 chapters away from beating Uncharted 3.
Nice.
Let's go.
You have been working, my friend. Very nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty close to the end with that.
We got an Uncharted fan on our hands.
Yeah.
Because you had only played 1, right?
Yeah.
So
although apparently I've seen bits and pieces of 2 and 3
But you haven't played 4.
You haven't played 4.
I've seen bits and pieces of 4, but I haven't actually played
4 is chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss, indeed.
Okay.
Indeed.
It's like a Toy Story 3, where it's just like you're like it ends.
Andy comes out and he's holding, Sully and Nathan and just like, oh, look at him play. It's kind of weird actually when you think about it. Yeah. It's like, why do you have these grown men toys?
That's why
Andy,
we try not
go
to
to college, get an education, you weirdo. But that's awesome, dude. I'm excited for you.
But honestly, and I don't know where you guys fall on this. Like, I've liked Uncharted 2 more than I like Uncharted 3.
Yeah, that is the consensus across
I think
majority
it is.
Of people.
At least video gamey wise. I think the last time we did a spoiler cast talked about it. I know for me, I felt like, and you're not all the way, you still have 6 chapters left and a lot happens in the last 6 chapters. I feel like the oomph of the story in 3 is better than 2. But at the same time, 2 is just like such a fun game. Like it's just got all them, I don't know, those popcorn action bits that are just so perfectly executed. So I get it.
I'm into Uncharted 3, but like I'm not pulled into the story as I was with Uncharted 2.
Yeah, I get it.
But we'll see. Like I said, I'm not finished with it yet, but probably by week's end I will have finished 3.
Right.
So is the plan to play Uncharted 4 next?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Ride that train.
Culmination of all the Uncharted's. It's
Now is Lost Legacy, is that a DLC?
It was not a DLC. It was supposed to be, but it got too big and became a standalone game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like Miles Morales in terms of it. It is its own game. It doesn't have a DLC feel to it. It's worth playing. It's fun.
It's not a DLC feel for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Cool. But yeah. I'm well on my way, and I'm very much loving it.
And then you can go back and listen to the Uncharted spoiler cast we did earlier this year.
That's true. Very, very
true.
Yeah. And unfortunately, no Zelda this weekend, just because this weekend was so busy. and I was wanting to play Uncharted so much.
Guys, I'm just not feeling good.
Well, I needed, like, I honestly needed to chill after this weekend because it was just so busy. But probably gonna stream Zelda tomorrow night as of recording. This is Monday night, so Tuesday night we'll be recording. I'll be streaming more Zelda. Get the needle moving on that. But
you get it.
That's pretty much it for me.
Alrighty, Rue. Patrick.
Yes.
What's up? What's up with the whack PlayStation sup?
Well, let's stick with the video games.
All right.
Really,
transition.
So I've tried all the the Game Pass games that have come out. Each one of them was like Spider Heck, where you're a spider, carrying lightsabers and beating up other. It's a weird platformer fighter, multiplayer fighter. It's weird. I played it for like 10 minutes. I was like, this is terrible.
It sounds like Ace of Seafood with spiders. Did you play that yet, by the way?
I did play Ace of Seafood.
How long did you last?
I lasted less than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really weird. This is way too involved of a game. Like, this is like, there is so many mechanics and menus and upgrades. I'm like, this is way too much for a fish laser game. So I was like, this I'm not going to play this.
It is a fever dream, though.
It is definitely a fever dream. As a way to describe it.
Yep.
But no, this past week I've been playing a lot of Apex. That new gun run is the awesome, really good, fresh take in Apex. I know it's been done in other games, but it's been really, really fun to play. I think the last day to play it was this past Sunday, or maybe it's tonight.
I think they're bringing it back, though. They're actually they're bringing it back sometime this month. I hope so, because that game it's so fun. Yeah, it's in the action all the time. It should stay. It should stick. It should be a permanent mode. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing this past week. I dabbled in some of the PlayStation Plus games and the Game Pass games, but none of them really caught my interests. I played the new Paw Patrol Grand Prix kind of racer just to see how that was. It's not like Mario Kart. It's not. And so I played one match or one race. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty bad.
Was Clark with you?
No, he wasn't. But really,
that's part of your problem. You got to have the child with you to help.
No,
validate.
I wasn't gonna make him play this game because I didn't want to play this game either. Yeah. What he's been playing is a new Slime Rancher 2 game.
Oh, okay.
It's I guess the preview or the game preview for it.
All right.
He's been pretty pumped about that. Like, he played a ton of Slime Rancher Run.
He did. I remember you saying he was a fan.
Yeah, so he was all the new slimes, or then in the plorts or whatever they call them. Yeah. So that's outside of that, nothing else on the gaming front. Now, coming from GameFly is this game called Fist. It's like forged in steel. I don't know what it is.
It's a rabbit in a mechanized suit.
Yeah, I'm interested in that game, and I'll have more to say on that one next week. But that one has been shipped. That one comes out tomorrow, the 4th.
Cool. I didn't know that was a physical game, that you would get that through GameFly. That's cool.
Yeah. So that's on the gaming front. On the movie front, I did watch this movie called Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yes. I saw that preview so many times in Brazilian movie theaters. Like,
really?
I almost now just want to watch it because I saw the preview so many times.
It is a very stylistic Quentin Tarantino type of feel of a movie. Really smart, witty, funny. It is an action movie. It is a lot of twists and turns in the movie. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of names in it. Like Mads Mikkelsen and Brad Pitt and Bad Bunny shows up. There's some big names in it, and it's really, really funny. There's a couple guys that I had to turn on subtitles for it because I had no idea what they were saying. They were saying like some like Cockney slang, and I'm like, I don't even know what these guys are saying. So I had to turn on subtitles.
You got to come over here and you got to talk like this. You don't do it, Joe.
Exactly.
Like, what?
That is exactly.
And we just lost all our Cockney listeners.
Oh man.
Oh, we're so sorry. Then no, you come back. It's okay.
Yeah. But that was an awesome movie.
Nice.
I would give it 9 out of 10.
Ooh,
Really good.
9 out of 10.
Really fun.
All right, 9 out of 10. What?
9 out of 10. Stolen briefcases.
I see where you're going with that.
Yeah. And then I also did watch Hocus Pocus 2. It's a kid's Disney movie. I mean, if you liked Hocus Pocus 1, you'll like Hocus Pocus 2. Right. It is, like Marc said, the CG is not up to par, but it's made. I feel like it's a made for TV movie.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You know, it's they didn't put a lot of effort into the budget, you know, for this. And that's fine because Hocus Pocus 1 it feels like this movie came out in the 90s, which is fair. I mean,
all
fair.
right.
It stays true to the Hocus Pocus kind of thing because we watch Hocus Pocus every October. It's just one of the staples in our house. It's hokey. It's, you know, tongue in cheek.
Pokey.
So yeah,
I wasn't going to say it, but you know.
But yeah. So I mean,
Well, he just walked in, he just lopped it up, and I was like, well, it's Hocus Pocus, it's hokey pokey. Turn yourself around.
Yeah, so that's on the movie front. Oh yeah, also on the gaming front, I totally forgot. So which is kind of tied into my life update. This past weekend drove from Cincinnati to Pittsburgh to see one of my employees get married. And so it's like a 4.5-5 hour drive from Cincinnati to Pittsburgh, and which allows us to drive through West Virginia on our way to
Mountain
Pennsylvania.
Mama, take me home, baby.
Yeah, it was only like, you know, like if you look at the map, it's only a sliver, and we were in it for
it's like 20-15 minutes.
Yeah, it's not long
10.
at all. It's like you have to go through like a safety corridor, or it's like strictly you have to go the speed limit or under, or you're gonna get a ticket. And so so that's like 15 minutes. So it was pretty cool. I had my one of my employees, she works in Pittsburgh. She's remote, and so it's the first time that I met her in person. She's been on the team for just about a year, and so it was cool to just meet her in person. Be there for, her wedding, which was really cool. Felt kind of honored to be invited to the wedding, which was pretty cool.
Did you offer to backup officiate the wedding?
I have not gotten my license yet.
That's okay. You can just say, I just need to practice I got a wedding coming up. So if you need me to fill in, I'll do my best. As soon as we got into Pennsylvania, it rained. And the entire time we were there, it rained. It was like the remnants of Hurricane Ian had come up through the East Coast and was sitting around in Pittsburgh while we were there. So we were at the wedding, we were under a canopy, so it wasn't, we didn't get wet or anything. It was kind of like that annoying like mist drizzle where you're just like, you're gonna get wet, but it's not, not totally wet. You're like, do I need an umbrella? Do I not need an umbrella? Kind of thing. Yeah.
And then we get to the ceremony, and if you've ever been in Pittsburgh, I mean, they make cookies, and that's their thing, is cookies.
Yep.
And my dad is from Pittsburgh, and my dad doesn't make the cookies. But he has a cousin that lives here near Cincinnati where we visit from time to time. And one of the things I love about visiting them is there's always cookies. And their cookies are a little different. They're a little different in the way they make them, and so, but it's in a good way. And so they have their own feel, taste, kind of thing. And so when I saw that there was going to be a Pittsburgh style cookies at this wedding, and one of the I guess the to go or takeaways, that people get at weddings,
like the The
we
party
were the favor. Yeah. They gave you boxes to put cookies in.
Oh,
And
nice.
there was this top layer of cookies that's were my favorite. I don't know what they're called, but they're very soft and they have like almond crust around it. And there's
Mm.
like a thumbprint on the top with some like fruit, yeah, on them. It's like a jelly, like a fruit jelly.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
down.
those are
Except for
my
the fingerprint, that sounds a little
well. So you put
non-sanitary.
the
It's like they're just like
thumbprint.
shoving their
Yeah,
thumbprint in it, and they're like,
and then
I
that's
might have
but
washed my
that's
hands. Who knows?
I think they're called thumbprint cookies because there's like,
Okay.
it looks like a thumbprint at the top, and that's where you
Yeah.
put the jelly.
All
And
right.
so those are my favorite, and I absolutely love those.
Cool.
And so I probably had 10 or 12 of them at the wedding, and then I cleaned out the rest of them. It was like later that night, everyone was grabbing their cookies, and there were still like 15 of those cookies, and I took them all.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I know. So I don't get them very often, and they're just different cookies, and
Yep.
they're really good. So we stayed overnight at a hotel, and in the morning we drove back, and because we were at a wedding and it was open bar, I indulged, and so we woke up in the morning, and Mel drove the first leg because I needed to wake up, and so and with it was me, Mel, and then Eric came along because Eric's part of the team, and so he was also invited to the wedding. So he brought this little, kind of like half the size of a Game Boy, kind of like a
Oh yeah.
maybe a little bit smaller than a Game Boy Advance. I think what was it, the Game Boy Advance
Pocket?
S or something like that. The pocket where it opens up.
Oh,
It's about that big, but when it's
PSP.
closed. And so he has like 6,000 games on this
Oh
thing.
yeah. He was talking about that the other night.
And this so I was in the front seat, and he just hands me this. He's like, "Hey, well, check this out." And it was Tecmo Super Bowl. And so Tecmo Bowl, like when I was growing up, my brother, he's like 6 years older than me, and he comes home with an NES with Tecmo Bowl and Tecmo Super Bowl, and that's pretty much what brought me into games. And so when Eric hands me a small little handheld with Tecmo Super Bowl, I felt like I was 6 years old again. And so I played Tecmo Super Bowl, played the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I felt like I was back at 7 years old playing this game because I remembered immediately how to play, what to do, how to get sacks, how to get interceptions, and I beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 58-10.
There you go. Way
Oh
to
my
put it
goodness!
to him. Get your revenge.
It felt so good. It felt like I was just, it's like riding a bike kind of thing. And so yeah, that was really really cool. He wanted to play, but I played another game of.
You're like,
it.
not yet.
Not yet. I'm in the middle of this.
Wait your turn.
Yeah, I already have quarters on this arcade machine.
That's right. That's right.
You can't play. Yeah. So. Yeah, it was good. Speaking of the Bengals, they won this past week, which was pretty exciting. They wore the all white unis with the new white helmets, and they put a whooping.
They're at 500 now, right? 2-2.
They're 2-2.
Here we go. We're on our way here.
3 teams in the AFC North are 2-2. The Steelers are 1-3.
Oh, they're headed downhill. Their last game was rough.
They just put in their rookie QB because their QB that was playing, Mitch Trubisky, was not performing. So they're
Did you
like,
say Mr. Bisky?
It's Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like some kind of advertisement for a biscuit restaurant or something. Mr. Bisky, come and get it while they're hot.
Could be. I mean, he wasn't doing well, so they put in the rookie QB, and I think this is more of like the rest of the year is them just kind of getting him ready for next year.
Yeah.
So which is fair. But that leaves it up for grabs for the Bengals to continue on, and they take on the 2-2 Ravens next week. So we'll see. The winner of that will have sole possession of first place. But yeah, I don't know. It's been been a pretty good week this past week.
I tell you what, man.
Tell you what, man.
Tell you what.
Tell you what, man. Oh, and last but not least, I don't really usually talk about work because it's work, and I leave work at work. I don't like to bring it home. You know, as much as I love work, I don't bring it home. Home is where video games and family are.
That's right. Where the heart is.
Yeah, exactly. But this week, every year, the first week of October is customer service week, and it's like a nationwide. I don't know if it's worldwide, but it's customer service
worldwide.
Week. And so I've never done one, planned one and put one together for a customer service team. I was always just, a member, a part of it, So this week we're starting customer service week for our team. And so I'll give you an update as to how the week went. But we started off with giving people some DoorDash gift cards for all of our remote employees so they can get some breakfast and lunch this week.
There you go.
I got into work early and I brought my griddle. I brought some sausage and eggs and bacon and pancake mix, and I made breakfast in the break room in the morning. And so I'm cooking breakfast in the morning, and it's like 7:45. And the break room is a pretty popular spot in the morning because that's where the coffee is. And there's a lot of coffee drinkers on our floor. And everyone was coming up like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Because usually no one's in here making breakfast. So, I told them it's customer service week and making breakfast for the team. And so it was pretty cool to be able to do that for the team and
nice.
Push off work a little bit to allow the team to eat some breakfast together. So it was pretty cool.
Mark, did you commute to get some breakfast?
Yeah, I decided I'd drive 8.5 hours and get me some breakfast.
Hey, it sounds worth it.
I'll tell you what. So there's a team member. He lives like about 50 minutes to an hour away, and he commutes every day to the office. And so on Wednesday we're having a team lunch. We're getting catered in. We're all gonna go down. We're gonna have some lunch together. And he usually works from home on Wednesdays, and he's driving in just for lunch.
Nice.
So it's not out of the realm of possibility to drive just to eat.
Mark, yeah, 50 hours is just like 8.5 hours.
50
depending
hours,
on how you
50
plan
hours.
Did I say 50 hours? 50 minutes? That's if I drove to.
I might be longer than that.
It would be
50
longer
minutes.
than that.
Let's just do that a few more times. And
I think it takes 3 days to get to northern part of Brazil driving from here. So, yeah, it would take a couple of weeks, if not more.
Yeah.
If I survived the many border crossings.
They provided a different way of blessing us remote workers.
You remote folk?
Yep. Yeah. We were given DoorDash gift cards.
Cool. You're the Door Dashers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. So we got some other things planned for this week, some games, some things, some surprises. So Mark, be on the lookout.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Keep them eyes peeled, sir.
All right. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Fair enough. Sounds good. Folks, that's all we got. That's all the new news we got. If you do want to share what's new in your neck of the woods, then let's do some quick housekeeping, where we offer you towels, fluff pillows, topped with Andy's candies, and tip you off to how you can connect with the GMGU on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and Instagram. You can share what's new with you, even if it's belated, just like Travis Popsicle, a.k.a. Sin Filtrud, did, where he said, "So incredibly busy this week." Did we read this last time?
I don't know.
No, right?
Maybe.
I don't think we did, because I think he posted it late.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought.
Let's just read it again.
Let's
just read it again.
Yeah.
I'm probably repeating myself. He's got house projects. He's become the supervisor of 15 drivers of work.
Yes.
Did we do that one?
I think we did.
Well, we just wanted to be reminded.
I don't know.
I hope
I
you're
read
surviving.
it, so I can't tell if we talked about it or not.
That's true. That's true. You did. Did you read that?
I don't know. As you say, Lucas, if it's been a week, I'm going to forget.
Well, you know what? If I'm not here, it's like it didn't happen, even though I did listen to the episode. But one thing I know we didn't mention, as we already mentioned what old Travis Popsicle said. Mm-hmm. But congratulations to Chris the Rock, who ran a marathon this past weekend, and he beat his time by 15 minutes. So it 3 hours and 14 minutes, I think. 3 hours and 15 minutes was his total time.
Isn't that fast? Like, I don't.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty fast.
Like, yeah. I mean, 3 hours and 14 minutes of straight running, and that's what? How many miles is that?
26
like
miles.
My goodness.
Yeah, 26. And then he did it in 3 hours and 25 minutes.
How many marathons is that for Chris?
That's 8 miles that's 8 miles an hour. That's a good pace to have for 3 hours. 8 miles an hour. So
that is like
that's some quality running.
Minute. What was that? What's that guy? Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
He's Chris Usain Bolt.
That's right. That's a lot of words, but we'll take it. We will take it. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Congratulations, Chris, and congrats.
How many marathons is that now? Is that 2, or is that like 70?
Baker's dozen is my guess. I really have no idea. Somewhere I'm going to go with the middle ground. Baker's dozen.
Oh, over under of how many marathons?
Oh, you want to do over under?
Yeah, over under is.
Are we doing a gentleman's bet like you did with Eric and the and some kind of thing that I can't remember what you bet with him?
That was a $20 bet with him.
That's a $20. Well, it started as a gentleman's bet, but then you upped the ante. Mm-hmm. Actually, Ronnie tried to make it $100.
I am more confident in that than I am with how many marathons that Chris has.
I feel like he's done half a dozen, so 6 would be my guess.
That would be all right. I'm going to take the under on that. I'm going to say he's done less than 6.
Well, now, do these marathons have to be like official marathons, or is it just him running a marathon?
No,
running 26 miles.
The official marathons, yeah. Because he's ran like at home or at the gym or around. He has.
I just wanted to make sure. Around the yard. Yeah, he ran 26 miles around his yard once. It was like
Honey, 500 are you okay
laps.
Over there?
There's like divots in the yard.
He's like, I'm getting dizzy.
A trench. Like you just see him waist up, like running in the circle. Yeah. So, all right. So if you guys would like to share about your marathon running, feel free to check us out on them social media areas. If you're more of a visual or spectator, listener, joiner, there is YouTube and Twitch as well. Marc's playing them old Battle Royales from time to time and them Legend of Zeldas, usually on the weekends. I'm playing roguelikes and randomness and trophy hunting from time to time with the Butt Crack of Dawn team, my buddy Chris the Rock, who is also streaming early morning. He's currently playing the GMG VGBC game of... Oh, no, he's not playing a GMG VGBC game. He's caught up. He's playing Ghost of Tsushima for the first time and loving that.
There you go.
Yeah. And so check us out. Finally, on Patreon and our merch page, you can support and gear up with us. So click on the one link to rule them all, either in the show notes or you can type it out real quick. Linktree.com/thegmgpod. Of course, if you can't toss your attention or a coin to your podcasters but are still the giving type, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and Spotify. Please. Helps us reach new joiners through stars, exclamation marks, and your feedback. So let your voice be heard, literally, if you like, at 929 GMG Guys. Alrighty then, Pat, Marc, and the spirit of Ronnie J, who I almost forgot about because he forgot about me halfway through the podcast last week. Mm-hmm. Not that I'm keeping tabs on anything. Yep. Along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you game.